What's for lunch? TBBLC.
Stay in your seat.
What's for lunch today? Sausage. Brown bag, brown bag.
The Brown Bag Lunch Crew. All right, folks. Welcome back to another episode of TBBLC. I'm Curtis Quinn, here with my co-host, Drew Luster, up in Gloucester, Mass. Drew, how are you doing this week?
I'm doing great. It's a Tuesday evening. I got the rest of the week off, so things are looking up for me. Want to wish everybody happy National Nude Day as well. For all you nudists out there, go and free that nipple. And or if you're into sending that type of content to others, this would probably be the day to do that. So go right ahead and let's have one hell of a day. And let's dive right into this solid-ass episode because this is great stuff coming for you guys.
Absolutely. I'd venture to say it was the most fun interview we've had yet. Mainly going off the point that these were not two people we had any interaction with ever before.
Nope.
They're not from the United States of America. And they're musicians, extremely talented musicians, which we have zero ability in.
Zero. Negative, maybe.
So just going into it, it offered up us a chance to ask questions that we probably would never ask a normal guest, average Joe of the week like we've been having on, who we've known for our entire lives. But
Yep.
Yeah, Drew, your thoughts? This was pre-recorded Sunday, so this is just the intro segment. It went a little long. We're not going to get into our love of the weeks this week. We do want to shout out Santo Parisi, who we've picked this week as our best. Might be a first ballot Hall of Famer up there with Mike Luster when we talk about it next week, Drew. So we'll keep that on hold. But your thoughts on how it went this week?
Yeah, let's not get it twisted. Typically, we're going with an average Joe, a buddy of ours, and we're just kind of shooting the shit per usual. I would not consider these guys average Joes. Like you said, they are uber talented in what they do, and they desperately need to be recognized because they are very talented folks. They are very humble, very respectful, very outgoing. I felt like, I'm not going to speak for you, Kurt, but I felt like after 15, 20 minutes, we had been buddies for years, the way they were kind of, bantering back and forth with us. So it's a hell of an interview. Two great guys, and I think you guys will probably feel the same way.
Absolutely, and if you haven't got the chance from, our Instagram stories yet to look at the Burbank Duo's Instagram page or go on their YouTube channel and watch a couple of their videos, that'll give you a sneak peek into, what we talk about during the interview, and listen to some of their music on Spotify. It's great. I mean, you talk about summer vibes songs, Drew. These are some damn good summer vibe songs.
Yeah, almost like, I don't know why, it's like acoustic / Beatles / just relaxing summer vibes, like something you'd maybe hear on an acoustic sunrise type of playlist. It's more relaxing, but it's really, really good stuff. So I highly recommend checking it out. I posted one of them on my story a couple nights ago. The Burbank Duo, Instagram, Twitter, Spotify, wherever you want to look, they're there. They also did a ton of covers that I was looking at. I'm talking on YouTube, John Mayer, Billie Eilish, Harry Styles,
Ed
Sheeran even. So there's a ton there that you can all relate to, and it's super just awesome content. So go check it out for sure.
Yeah, like you said, little Sunday morning drive down GHB. You throw on some Tales of Tomorrow and have yourself a nice little morning.
Hell yeah.
All right, folks. It's a long one, but it's a goodie. Let's
Buckle
unpack
up.
the bag here.
Fantastic. Well, I'd like to first thank Burbank for coming on. They are a London-based duo. This is something definitely different than what we're used to, but we're super stoked to have you guys on. Just to jump right in, I want to know a little bit about how you guys sort of came to be, and, I guess the journey from, start to present time, because I think a lot of people who, familiarize themselves with us may not know a lot about you guys. So just a high-level intro about, how you guys sort of came to be and what you guys are all about would be super awesome.
you want to start?
Do you want me to do it? Okay,
Go
here we
for
go. We got a guest system here. So yeah, we met in school. I guess high school. And how old were we? I was about 15. I know, must have been younger
than that, because I think I was probably 16, 17.
Like, we're pretty close in age. There's like 3 years difference. And there was like a school band, and you played drums, and I played guitar quite badly. And we kind of met through that, and then sort of met up in your garage at the time.
Oh.
Do you remember that?
Oh yeah.
Like traditional band
I'd
story, isn't
that.
it? And then we had like a jam.
And it went well.
And we were like, yeah, that's it. And from there, it's kind of been quite a natural progression. Like,
yeah, we had our first gig, and it was a Father's Day, and it was packed. And I remember we came out with just a buzz.
It was great.
We're like, we need more gigs. Let's go. And yeah, from there, I think we've done loads now.
Yeah, we always kind of say a number, and I feel like the number we say always changes, but. Now we've obviously had like lockdown here for like 6 months. I would say this is the final number. What do you reckon? 350? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say we've probably done about like 350 gigs so far. So we enjoy them. We miss them. Obviously, we're looking forward to them starting again. Yeah. But yeah, we just this is, I don't know how much of it you can see, but like this is like my room, which is like one of our kind of home studios, and then you've got set up, and that's kind of how we work. We write, we gig.
Yeah.
It's all a bit crazy, but it's great fun. So that's kind of the story, I guess.
Gotcha.
It does seem relatively traditional. The whole starting up in your garage, as we call it, is kind of funny. The accent is phenomenal, by the way. That's one that we love that.
Thank you.
But it is kind of ironic that it started out in the garage, and you guys kind of met as youngsters, and it kind of came to be from there. So yeah, that's super awesome. And you mentioned the number of gigs. I think one of the things that me and Curtis were very interested in hearing about was, I guess, that first moment when you kind of walked out on stage in front of an audience, or the first moment where you sort of felt like, we made it, like we're here. We kind of reached maybe not your end goal, but I guess a checkpoint, along the journey. So I think that was something that we wanted to kind of ask you guys about, was that maybe that first moment where you maybe walked on stage, or got to give a standing O or something like that, where you guys kind of felt like, wow, all of the hard work that we've sort of put in and has paid off, and we've sort of made it.
Yeah, I think for me, the best part has been, obviously we put a lot of time into learning covers, and we write our own songs, and to go from a point where, they're really rough, put together in my garage or this room, and then it doesn't even have to be a big audience, even if it's like a pub full of people, and you hear them singing it back or dancing, or you just see that what we're playing is making other people in the room like want to get up and dance. For me, that's a good.
I would say like the best, like one event, if we were to pick like one event, I would reckon like a few years back we released like our first song, and like listening back to it, it's still on our Spotify. Like I was
the name?
15. It's called The One. It's
okay.
It's, I mean, to be fair, like a lot of my friends are like, that's still your best song, which I think is a compliment. I think it's a compliment. Maybe we just, we struck gold too early, but like we did like it was part of a 4-track EP, and we put like a local kind of quite small show to like maybe just 100, something like that, people. And we didn't know what to expect when we kind of put the show on. Like we were proper new to it. And like we walked out and did the performance, and it was just packed, and it was such a feeling. I would say that would be like the moment where I was like, yeah, maybe we are on the right track here. Like this is something we genuinely should actually do, try and do at least. But yeah, I'd say that's the event.
Yeah, that
definitely.
Was
good. As far as performing in front of an audience, any nerves going up there? From a sports perspective, I know me and Drew grew up playing sports. We're not musicians, artists in any sort of way. Have very little singing capability or instrumental capability, to say the least. But I think back, Drew, from my personal experience, and you were out there caddying for me at one point. Like, I get, 20 to 30 people max on a golf course for a competition. And, you can feel the tension in the air type of deal. And you guys are talking about hundreds. I don't know what your biggest, if you've gotten to thousands yet on an audience. But how's that walking out onto the stage and, having any sort of stage fright, nerves, whatever, or do you just get into it?
The actual performance, personally, for me, the actual performance, I wouldn't say there's nerves. For me, the thing that I'm nervous about is the setting up and the pack down afterwards when you're trying to work around people that are like, I don't know, eating their food or whatever. Like,
Yeah, that's awkward.
That's horrible. We've played a few venues where there's been like more of an audience, so then the performance, there's more nerves involved for
Definitely.
sure. But surely not as much as golf. I mean, that's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, we
to be
suck
stood
at
there.
sports, so like if we were to do some, but we actually weirdly, like, this is the first time we've ever decided to do sports. But just before this call, we actually like went. There's a park around the corner. We like went and kicked a football about. And like we suck. We are so bad. I kind of hit everything in the park but the goal. So you know, we could do a swap one day. And I know that you guys obviously like your sports, but I reckon it's a comparable nerves. Like, I think when you're in the moment and you're, you know, be it playing guitar or playing, you know, golf or football, whatever. I think if you focus on that takes the nerves away. And often if we're always together on a stage, so if I feel nervous or something goes wrong, we could kind of just laugh at it, kind of ignore it to a certain degree. So
yeah.
But yeah, I think I'm nervous to perform again now because it's been so long.
After what, half a year of not doing anything?
I mean, I haven't seen you in ages anyway. Like, this is the first time I've even seen you for like 6 months properly. Yeah. So that'll be a bit scary, definitely.
Absolutely. And then to go along with that, I mean, we can't have it all. If you guys were athletes and then we were also able to sing, like, we'd be the talk of the town. You can't have that from the higher ups. So.
Yeah. No, that's a good point.
We got to take what we got.
Exactly.
I do have to shout out Patrick Kelly, PK as we call him, a good friend of the podcast, a good friend of you guys, and he hooked us up with you. I have to ask the question, how did you meet him, first of all? And then he told me to say, you know, describe the night out that you had with PK.
So I love this.
It's so good.
This is such a good story. Like, this isn't even a good story as a one-off. This is probably like one of the best stories I have to my life today.
Okay.
Do you want to take it away? You're better at
I'll
telling
start.
You start, go on.
So we went to London for the BBC Music Introducing event, which is just loads of talks on music-y stuff.
It's quite
boring. Very boring. Yeah. We were staying in a hostel, and it's our first time staying in a hostel. So we were in our room, and there were these two guys in there who happened to, late in the story, be Jake and Patrick, and we were so awkward.
We were bad.
The worst people to be sharing a room.
It makes me uncomfortable.
Head down, didn't talk. We were like, we can't do it.
We were in our hostel. Like, we'd never done it before. So like, we had the locker, and we were like fiddling. Like, I can open my locker, which is a very me thing to do. And I remember we kind of got it working. We got ready. We decided it would be like a night we'd go down. There's a bar in the hostel and stuff like that. And these two guys walk in, and they're both like, I don't know, they're just like, you know, really confident, seem like really nice guys, and we both just zone out, and we don't know what to do. We're like, do you talk to people in a hostel? Like, do you... And I remember they had music on Spotify, and it was like this country music.
Really good.
And I was thinking, that's really good. But we both sat, like, head down for maybe 10 minutes. It was so uncomfortable.
I can say, knowing PK and working with him for a number of years at the beach, you are not going to get away sitting quietly anywhere in the vicinity of PK. He is one of the most friendly people and like welcoming people you can have. So it was it was definitely a good setup for you guys, for sure.
It was, and then
we went down to the bar.
We kind of ran away,
had a drink, and then bless them, they came down and they said, "Do you want to play some beer pong?" And I think literally from there we just ended up drinking so much.
It was.
Had the best night.
Yeah, so like when we ran away because it was awkward, we said we got to go to the bar, man, like that's all we can do. And we were sat at the bar with like a drink, and I remember us both chatting, we're going, what are we gonna do? Like, we got to sleep in there if we're that awkward all night. Like, and then someone tapped us on the shoulder and went, do you want to play beer pong? We were like, yes we do. And then that was it. And then we ended up, didn't we? Oh, it's so good.
I will never forget, we were just drinking, having a good time, and I thought this is just, you know, we're going to stay here.
Yeah.
Have a few more drinks and we'll go to bed, just like, surely. And no, Jake turns around and goes, oh, there's a piano bar down the road. Let's get an Uber. Let's go. So good. And we jumped in the Uber and we went, and it had more of a night.
Yeah, I think we went from like 6 in the evening thinking, it was going to be just the worst night. We're going to be awkward. We're like, I think I remember saying to you, like, oh, we got to go to bed like 7 or something. And then we got to like 3 in the morning. We were like 4 miles away from the hostel in the middle of London, in this like piano bar, like doing tequila shots, and like all the trains had shut, and we walked back. Like London's not a cool, like we're not like, you know, the scariest men. If you walk past us, you wouldn't be intimidated. Like you'd probably think, oh, look, free mugging or something like that. Like, we walked back to the hostel, and I was like, that was so. It was such a good night.
It was amazing.
Crazy kind of tale of events.
Yeah.
But,
it was good. And then the next day we were like, oh, well, we should keep in touch. So when our friends
and
on
then
Facebook,
that was the day we were leaving the hostel.
Yeah.
So like which was sad because like after the night we kind of broke the ice. We're like, this is cool. We all had to leave, but that's kind of story. But it was wonderful. It's brilliant. Good memory, definitely.
Yeah. And have you guys been to the United States at all? I know Pat was out there for traveling the world. He's been to Asia, everywhere.
Yeah.
Do you have any plans on coming and visiting?
I've been on holiday as like a typical tourist, to kind of like, you know, Disney World, stuff like that. But I've always wanted to kind of, I feel like that's kind of part of America that's like really fun as a tourist. But I've always wanted to do the kind of thing where you hire a car and just drive about and see like proper America, drive about, do what you know, go to
I
beaches.
haven't been at all.
Have you never been?
Never.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And it's like top of my list.
It's top of your list
to go. Like I really want to. We've a couple of times been like with our music. We've been, oh, should we head out to America? And it's never quite been the right time for us. And I've always been. We've got a manager now. The 3 of us. I'm always the one that's like, yeah, let's go.
You're always like, yeah, I can quit my job tomorrow. I could go.
I'll do it. Fine.
Definitely.
But it's definitely
100%.
On our list.
It's on the cards. Yeah.
Drew, as I'm thinking, like, man, imagine if we got them to Fiesta and PK was there, and we're talking about holding a live type of radio show, concert, whatever, at a bar, and imagine they're there. That would be an American experience in and of itself. Couple it along with some Italian experience while in America, it would be absolutely wild. I know you have a question, Drew, for them about, you know, how the lady game goes. So if you want to set that up.
So what I was going to say is people always are making fun of me for like saying, oh, I have a Boston accent. Oh, I have this, you know, crazy classic Boston accent. Me and Curtis were talking before the pod offline about, imagine if if you guys came to Fiesta or like, you know, downtown Boston, wherever.
Anywhere in the United States.
I feel like you guys just having a conversation out loud walking down the street, it would just be like a magnet, just a chick magnet with the accent. They would just.
He's on.
He's on Expedia right now booking. He's leaving in the morning. But, it's just funny because people are always kind of shitting on me for my Boston accent, whatever. But we just think it's so funny, and it's just so rare that it's just kind of the joke or the punchline is that you guys would just be walking around with us. And it would just be like a magnet. You guys would just be, literally, you could just have a conversation. Like you wouldn't even have to do anything.
What's your favorite accent? Like, what would you guys consider your favorite accent?
It's a good question.
I'm genuinely not just saying this because you guys are American.
Oh God.
I do genuinely, and I know like the American accents are quite a wide range of things.
Which part?
I just think all of it. I just find I'm obviously like we watch a lot of TV and we like our favorite TV shows American. I don't know. I wouldn't say. I don't know if I have a favorite accent.
I really
like the American accent.
The thing is, I don't know if it's stereotypical. So I don't want to I like the like New York.
Okay, yeah.
I feel like I've got that from films.
You like Friends, that's why.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah.
What's the favorite American TV show?
That's what we want to know.
Well, there's a bit of a catch with that. So
I always do this.
You can.
My
shut
bad.
Up.
I'll be quiet.
Our name as a band is Burbank,
yes.
which obviously is a place in, I want to say California.
California, you got it.
We should know this, shouldn't we? It's near LA, right?
Yeah, it's near, yeah.
Good. Okay, cool. But we decided to name ourselves Burbank because that's where our favorite TV show is set. And when people ask us what the TV show is, we say it's a secret and we don't tell them.
Yeah, we always try to keep it a secret, and I always end up telling people. So I'm not allowed to talk. I'm going to be really quiet for this part of the podcast.
You can give a clue.
Can I give a clue?
Yeah, but not the name.
See, I don't know actually how well known this would. But I guess it's got to be quite well known. Well, What's the clue and what am I allowed to say here?
Yeah.
Okay, it's like kind of like a comedy thing about a spy. Is that as much as I can say? And it's set in Burbank, and he wears Converse shoes. And that's we wear Converse shoes just because we love the show.
Yeah.
That's a pretty vague clue.
Yeah,
like
I
no
mean,
one's
we're gonna have to get the audience to really dig into
Yeah,
that one. We'll do some Googling. We'll do some.
I'm gonna
Works
do some
cited.
research.
You
They've
could
got a
definitely
team.
find it.
They've got a team of
We could
people.
give them a bit more to go. What else? So
You've given them quite a lot.
how about? Oh, oh yeah, I can't say that. Oh, that will give it away.
I think
I've given them
we're
too much,
done.
have I?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what we need. I think we can chew on that, and I think we can get to the bottom of it.
Absolutely.
I think you'll find that. Yeah.
Now, a couple other questions to go along here. Is the Boston accent the sexiest accent in the world? Because in America, it was voted the sexiest accent. Me and Drew have been told we have a Boston accent. I've also been told I sound like I'm from the South. So nobody knows how I talk particularly, but Drew is definitely a Boston accent. What do you guys think?
Can you say it's an example? Say something a lot. We will give you an honest answer.
What's
Here we
like
go.
a typical?
So the one thing that people are like, the classic, TV show movie line is "Park the car in the Harvard yard."
Okay, I like it.
Park.
I don't know if I have a favorite accent. I don't know if I can commit that much to saying but
I would say Boston is basically just any A's. They're just prolonged, way too far out, and you don't pronounce any R's. Like there's just no R in the vocabulary. You just delete it.
Can you guys have a go at doing
Oh no, because
our accent?
I can't do accents, and if they flip it round, it's gonna be embarrassing.
Well, we won't do that. It's fine, but I reckon you guys would be pretty good at it.
Can you do an English accent?
Drew, you want to give it a try? I mean, mine's going to be awful. I would just say, words that they use, cheers, cheerio, garage, and stuff like that.
Cheers, mate. I know they say, at least when I went abroad, everybody said cheers all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do say cheers a lot.
Cheers.
I've been using that in my emails. I've been using cheers a lot because when I was working with a couple of the British troops, I always liked getting a call from them because, I get the accent and I'm like, wow, this is pretty sweet. Little joint coalition stuff. And now I'm incorporating it into my emails, which would bring me up to my next question I had, which you guys sign off your DMs on Instagram, which I've never seen before. And it was from Ash and Luke. And I was like, Drew, we got to start doing that. And we got to start putting cheers at the bottom. Cheers,
100%.
Kurt and Drew.
We love
That's
it.
Good. You got it. I think, we've always done that.
It started out with our first Facebook post as a band. We were like, hi guys, we're a band. Our name's Burbank. It was really cheesy. We signed off LNA. And since then,
we do it a lot.
We've kind of done that a lot on most sort of important posts.
We do also forget a fair amount of time.
Yeah, we do. And this is actually kind of funny because we did a lot of the Instagram messages, always Luke and Ash. That's how we say it.
Yeah, that is.
That's how we say it. And for some reason, this is the only message, and I replied to it, and I wrote Ash and Luke.
Oh my gosh.
And
I like
the
that.
fact that you guys have picked up on it is...
You've got the rare Ash and Luke.
Yeah.
The one in a million.
That is true.
Wow.
How
grateful are we?
Holy moly. To go along on the social media aspect of it, I like to... We looked up your... page. We tried to do some research, see what we're getting into. First on Spotify, PK told me the name, I searched it. I'm like, hold on a second now. This song has 19 million views. And then we realized we may have been on the wrong page. And then
that's the thing. Yeah.
There's
I know.
two.
We got excited too about that once. we got 19 minutes. Oh, it's not us.
No.
Oh. Yeah, no, there is, I think, and I could be wrong, I'm pretty sure, I think there is an American artist called Burbank.
Yeah.
And it's lo-fi remixes, and it's really cool music, but it's very different to our music.
Us. Yeah.
And we've had it before. When you put songs up for submission on Spotify and stuff, sometimes you can click a button and then YouTube will automatically playlist it. Yeah. And we were having all of our music put in a playlist with this guy's music.
Oh my
quite a lot. And it's it's not great because our music is I think people that like that music will not like our music,
Yeah.
and anyone that likes our music might not like that. It's like it's not a great balance of things. So we fixed it with our iTunes
We
account
did fix
as
it.
well.
I was a little gutted that his 19 million streams
I know.
didn't
Yeah,
latch onto
I know we
Yeah.
should have got a
That
share.
sounds like a
Oh,
good
wow.
marketing. Like, you know,
we should go.
Yeah.
push your product a little on that. But with that, now you also have 492 followers on Instagram, a very good number, you know, a little above us. We're a little jealous of that. But
Yeah, we are.
we've also noticed the following number of 63. So we're going to look at the ratio. Your ratio is great. But as, you know, humble guys, we like to say we want to give the people a follow back. We want to follow, you know, everybody who follows us.
Yeah.
So I don't want to say it's a selfish decision, but
Yeah.
you know, what's your reasoning behind the not follow? Also, I like to think we have the distinct honor of being part of the 63 right now. So that's
Yeah,
pretty
that's
freaking
huge.
You
cool.
will be. You're
Huge
in
for
and
us.
safe.
So
You're there
I
forever
I
now.
shouldn't even have brought this up because we could
No,
have
now
been
you-
there.
Now you're putting us on the shit list. Now
I
you're
know.
putting us in grave
No,
danger.
yeah.
We
Yeah,
had
I'm just
it.
going to go on and just remove you really
Yeah.
quick. One
No.
second.
I think it's less that we don't follow people. I think it's more we both have separate Instagram
Yeah, we've got
accounts.
personal ones. I
So
think.
on our ones we follow people, but on the Burbank one, we only really log into that to
Yeah.
post and to message people back.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah.
it's hard. Like we don't necessarily follow.
And I
people.
also think like when we like originally like kind of did because like for on Facebook we used to kind of use Facebook a lot. That used to be our main one. I think we're like nearly at 2,000 likes or whatever. And then YouTube as well. Like that's probably our best social media.
Yeah.
Oddly, a year ago it wasn't that great, but we've gone from like 200 subs to just under 3,000 in like half a year or something because we got lucky. I don't know. But like I think Instagram's always been. We always use it personally, and then we check the Burbank account. And
Yeah.
you're right though. That I hadn't really thought about the ratio
No.
because my personal account ratio is bad. It's like it's not great. But I think, yeah, we probably are
I'm
a bit
intrigued as to
reluctant.
what I might have to have a look at who the 63
Yeah,
are.
who do we follow? Who have we deemed the 63? That's a good like band name, the 63. I always should use
I'll
that.
have to review it.
It's probably taken. But yeah, no, it's a really. I've never even thought about that before. That's a really.
I
good
like that
point.
you've picked. I like the
That's a good
the
thought
research
process.
that you've done.
Yeah.
Oh,
in depth.
that is
And I
not
love
even close to the research we've done. That's just,
Oh, no.
you know,
Yeah,
skimming
that's
the
just scratching the
surface.
surface. I think to kind of piggyback off of the
Yeah.
Instagram thing, we kind of wanted to get an idea of what you guys were all about. So we were watching a bunch of the top secret missions and the marketing tactics, the new song, and we loved that. Like those are absolute gold.
Yeah.
So what me and Curtis did is took the last 24, 48 hours to come up with our own.
No way.
No, really?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Oh, I'm very excited. I'm
Drew,
excited.
I'm going to give the floor to you, Drew, and enter this top secret meeting. I know, Drew, you don't get a lot of experience in these classified meetings. All three of us have been in one, so this is your first, so this is big.
Yep. This is my first classified meeting. I'm a little bit anxious about it, but I'm just going to dive right in. So I guess I kind of took what you guys had kind of threw around on Instagram, came up with my own. I don't know really, based on where you guys are, your, I guess, network of friends and family that you have immediately around you, but tell me if this is realistic. So I'm picturing you guys reaching out to basically everybody you know, rather they're close family, friends, on any social media, regardless, any contacts, really, essentially. And I want each one of those people to write Burbank - Tales of Tomorrow on a piece of printer paper, fold it up into a paper airplane, walk to the highest possible altitude they can, and drop it down on the ground or wherever it lands.
That's genius.
And here's my thought. I understand the littering piece. Obviously, we don't want to litter. We don't want to dump pounds of paper everywhere. But someone's going to have to pick all these up and look at them. And my hope is that people just, their curiosity gets the best of them. Even if they go check out your social media, sauce you a follow, go stream a couple minutes or seconds of a song, it's more than we had yesterday. We build off of that. That's my initial thought.
Do you know what? I like that.
I think
really
that
like
needs
it.
a round of applause.
Yeah. Smash that.
I love that.
We just have to make sure that the people following us are in different locations, because if it's all in one place, then we don't want like the one litter picker going around, and it would just be one guy that gets all the leaflets.
Exactly. We got to try to spread the wealth the best.
I
we can
spread it out a little bit.
geographically.
I am really glad Ash used the word leaflets there, because that's originally the first thing I thought of. I was like, Drew, you're asking pretty much like what they were talking about, like sending leaflets over to North Korea. And I was thinking, like, this is something that is used in North Korea, a dictatorship, to, get information out. But I like it as a marketing strategy.
It must work.
Yeah.
If we don't do it there, if it doesn't work.
I wouldn't say we've had much progress with North Korea, but I mean, maybe at some point it will.
Exactly. This could be the
Maybe if
breakthrough.
they did the paper airplane thing, they'd be I don't know. Maybe they'd be onto some great
Less
things.
leaflet, more paper airplane.
I think paper airplane's a better take on.
That's
It's
good.
more fun. Also, you can hit passerbyers with the paper airplane.
Totally.
Bonus
Yeah.
points.
Aim.
Headshots.
Just let them rip. Exactly.
And now for mine, that was a great one, Drew. I had to throw in and compare you to North Korea in some way
That's
there.
totally fair and understandable.
But I was thinking, they're coming up with all these eccentric ways, like shaving Tales of Tomorrow in was by far me and Drew's
Oh my
favorite.
gosh.
Into the
we
back
were
of the
dying
heads
laughing.
and Drew is probably
So-
the biggest haircut fan in America right
Love the
now.
haircut.
I thought you were going to say Drew has got the haircut. I
Oh.
was
Gosh.
Here we go.
Dude.
How does it have it?
Drew,
Oh
that
my
might be
God.
the next haircut. I think you can get Emerson to do that.
So I got one yesterday, and I completely screwed myself knowing that we were going to pod
Oh,
today.
imagine
I should have
that.
done it.
That would have
God
been
damn it.
incredible.
Cherry on top.
Yes.
That would have been funny.
Heartbroken.
But I started thinking, I'm like, how do we get this music out there? Because we listened to it and we were like, Tales of Tomorrow is awesome. And
Yeah.
I'm thinking, it's kind of, it's not like, what would you classify your music as?
That's a really good question as well.
'Cause
you guys asked some wonderful questions.
We
as well.
get asked all the time. Well, I do at least. Me and Drew are separated right now. He's up in Massachusetts. I'm in Florida. But we get asked, what's your podcast about? And I go, I don't really know. I like to compare it to Seinfeld. It's a podcast about nothing. We just talk about culture, society, whatever the
Literally
hell's going on in the
everything
world.
and nothing.
So it's a tough question, but like,
It's a hard one.
I like to think of it more as what do you guys hope to be or want to be type of deal for music.
I think I think the problem we always struggle with this one because we like so much music, like we like a lot of different styles, and I think as a result, like we write so many songs that are just so incredibly different, and I think it's something that we always try and especially recently we were really trying to think about what is the actual every band that makes it has a style, at least for the first like album or two.
Yeah.
They have like a sound, and we're trying to I think we're still digging around, we're still trying to find and I think a lot of people, like the last single Tales of Tomorrow was really well received, and I think the followers that we've gained over the last few years all seem to really like genuinely enjoy that one, and I think we're getting close to the sound. So like at the core we're acoustic, and I guess we're kind of like pop music, but then like we like folk music, country music, we literally love everything. And I think that's the problem, is that we would happily release like every genre. Maybe not heavy metal. Maybe that's the but I'd try it. I'd try it.
Give it a go.
Yeah.
Rap, you could get into the rap scene. Absolutely.
Okay. You're not bad. You got
say
the bars.
The bars. Oh my god.
But it's the same with what you were saying. I think it's a really hard question to answer when people like ask you for like a category. I don't know if we have one.
I don't think we have one. Like you said, we at gigs, if people come up to us, we always jump to acoustic pop.
Acoustic pop.
But that is
That's
that in itself
bland,
is
isn't
so broad.
Yeah.
Yeah, Drew, I know you yesterday described it as, a good summer vibes song. I would think of it as, if I'm listening to like radio music in America, I'd be like, it's more closer towards acoustic alternative, something like that. But to get into my idea that I got for this top secret meeting, I'm thinking we put you, any song you want, in elevators. So like elevator music, every single one of your songs, you just are a monopoly in, every business financial district city in America. And that's how you get your music out there, because then people are going to be like, what was that song in the elevator? That was a pretty good song. Elevator music stinks usually. So if you put a good like waiting room music on,
Yeah.
it'll
It's
be
like a breath of fresh air.
hey, how's that?
It's like yeah.
And also all the people that are on the way up with their paper airplanes gonna hear the song again.
It's all coming together.
That's idea one. And
they've got to come back down.
they will come back down, hear it again, sing it. That's two
Double
streams.
time.
That's like 0.00003 pence or something like that.
Yeah,
that's money. We're winning. That's a good. That would be really cool to like find like a shopping center and be like, put our song in your elevator, and then just like, that'd be a cool YouTube video. Like I don't know what it'd be called, like a clickbait YouTube video, like we pranked everyone in a shopping center. But hopefully you'd gain. Again, I think when we did those top secret videos, we had like a lot of fun with it, and we came up with some ideas that we couldn't use. But you guys would come up with ideas that I actually think
genuinely
are quite
doable.
good.
They're doable.
I think they ride the line of probably
Realistic.
not doable.
Yeah.
But
They're more
could work.
doable.
They're more achievable than us hiring a plane or a cruise ship. So I think
I like the cruise ship idea. Stack all the fans up, hold them hostage, make them listen to it all
They have no
until they're
choice.
just, diehards, and they're spreading the music everywhere.
I love that one. When you said that, like when we filmed it, like we didn't like this. We didn't tell each other the ideas. We just, and like I was in tears, man. I had to cut a lot of that out because there was just incoherence where I was just laughing. So funny. I love that. That's two good. Paper airplanes, lift music. That's
good.
going on the list. That is on the list.
I like it.
We could be famous in a few weeks after that, I reckon.
It's good. Yeah.
Yeah. Boom.
Solid ideas.
I like it.
Let's just take a quick pause here, fellas. We're going to play Burbank's newest single, Tales of Tomorrow.
It's on days like these when I'm not myself and I question things about my mental health. Feel too shy to ask for help. Dream of tomorrow when the lights go out and I'm fighting wars with the thoughts in my head. Can't keep score. It's a downhill slope. Can't take more of this. The spark that ignites. When I close my eyes, it felt better with you by my side. In the afterglow, tales of tomorrow. When I'm feeling low, tales of tomorrow. Tales of tomorrow. Oh, I'll wait in line for tales of tomorrow. It can take some time. Tales of tomorrow, for you never know. The tales of tomorrow. Ooh, oh, oh, ah, oh, oh. And all my wrongs fall at my feet when my reflection is incomplete. All my love is friends. Enemies dream of tomorrow. I get lost like a wave in the sea. I fall down like a leaf in the breeze. When I close my eyes, all I see is tomorrow. In the afterglow, tales of tomorrow. When I'm feeling low, tales of tomorrow. Tales of tomorrow. Oh, I'll wait in line for tales of tomorrow. It can take some time. Tales of tomorrow, for you never know. Tales of tomorrow. Oh, 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 ah, oh, oh. Tomorrow it's gonna be a better day. God, I hope I find a way. It's gonna be a better day. I pray tomorrow it's gonna be a better day. gotta hope I find a way. It's gonna be a better day. And the afterglow tells of tomorrow. When I'm feeling low, tells of tomorrow. Oh, you never know. I'll wait in line for tales of tomorrow. It can take some time. Tales of tomorrow. Oh, you never know. Tales of tomorrow.
Drew, what do you got? You got any more questions? I got a few left. I got 2 left. So
I think my questions have been exhausted. Go ahead, Kurt. Shoot what you got.
awesome. Well, 3 left.
Oh man.
I'm a huge man of mystery, one of the greatest comedic movies of all time, Austin Powers fan. How do you guys, as Brits, feel about Austin Powers? Because in my, United States mind, that's one of the greatest British characters of all time.
I tell you what, I have a feeling I'm going to say what you're going to say.
You haven't seen it.
I'm not going to
Am
say
I
what
going
you're
to say
about
what you're
to
going to
say.
say? Oh, I'm not going to say. I haven't seen it.
Oh, God. No.
But I know that everyone
Wow.
loves it because all my friends have mentioned it and said you need to watch it, and I always go, oh, I haven't seen it. And I always say I haven't seen it.
It's
And
good.
and you've
It's
seen
good.
it.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Maybe
I have a feeling I watched it at. I don't want to
Have
say
you
it.
seen all 3? I think there's 3.
there's
No,
3.
Yeah, no, I think I've only seen the first one.
Okay.
I
One
definitely
of them.
I
I've
can
seen
I can
one
watch
of them.
those. I could watch 2 in a night, definitely.
That's
Get 2
must-watch
out of it.
television. That's the third one. I don't know if there's 2 or 3, but the last one, Austin Powers Goldmember, is one of the greatest comedy movies of all time in my mind. Probably a little insane in some ways, but
Yeah.
that's great. I can't believe you haven't seen it. That's just
I know I've let you down with that answer. I didn't
That's a
want to
Greek
say the
tragedy
word.
right
I
there.
haven't
I could
seen it.
feel it.
I
knew
I
that
feel
was
the
coming.
disappointment coming across the
once
ocean.
you said I don't want to say it, that was it. That was it.
Yeah, I
for
got a
me.
hunch.
Everyone's just tutting and cussing at me. They're angry. Oh, I've let you all down. Apologies. Sorry.
Terrible.
The next
know.
one, how is American history taught to you in school? Do you guys call it school? What do you call it? There's
School. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys say
I mean-
university instead of college.
Yeah. Because I
Yeah,
think
it's I think that's the one kicker, right?
So I think our university is your college. I'm pretty sure. So
Yes.
you go high school and then
College.
to college.
Yeah.
And we go like secondary school to university.
Okay.
I don't know what. I wish everyone just had like a universal, the same thing. Like it should just be the same. But I mean,
I've
if I'm
always
honest-
thought of, July 4th, Independence Day from Britain, obviously, 1776. We get, I don't even know how to say it. Like the colonialism view, Britain was, restricting the freedom type of deal. We won freedom. I always am wondering how different sections of the world teach history.
Hear each
So
other.
what do you guys what's the views on that? Because ours is very separate yourself. Britain at that point was evil. Now they're probably our strongest ally.
Yeah.
But
That's a really good way of thinking. I've never really thought about it, but I mean, if I'm honest, you probably are maybe slightly different because you were a little Ash is a little bit older than me, so we had different same school though.
Yeah.
But basically in secondary school you have 2 or 3 years of lessons all round. So I did do history, and then you choose what you do and you specialize. And at that point, when people learn about a lot more history, I was doing French or something else. I don't know what it was. So I don't actually know if we learn that much about American history. I think they kind of skip it out. If that's
that's pretty funny to me because
You
that's
reckon?
obviously
Yeah.
a turning point in world history, and
Yeah, that's really.
they're just
That is
no,
really interesting.
we'll gloss right over it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I think they've gone. We just we'll learn about World War II. That's what they've done. They're
Oh, yeah.
we'll just teach you about that for 5 years. You can know loads of useless stuff, and we'll skip all the important stuff. That's what they've done.
Literally, yeah. World War
But-
II extensively.
But having
And
said
then-
that, I mean, I can't speak for the whole like country's historical education, but like
Yeah,
From-
and also we only
from our
did,
neck
like
of
you
the
said, we
woods.
only did history for like the first few
Yeah.
years of school. So like there will be people that have
there will be
studied.
people that know about.
Yeah.
But as a whole, I don't
should
think
have been taught.
I don't think many of my like friendship group would know much either. So maybe we need to learn about it. We probably do.
I like how they cherry picked, World War II and just be like, this is our greatest historical moment at this point, so we're gonna
They
take
just,
it.
like, we're gonna just teach you about that because we feel proud. They're just
Yeah.
like, we're gonna talk about that for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
And you do learn about other stuff, but I can't remember.
Industrial revolution is probably the other thing, isn't it? That and
It's a very kind of
it's just that.
it's
and
a very
World War II.
proud history teaching. I guess all countries like to
Yeah.
teach.
We won't
people-
mention, that the American help or the American forces that moved in after were kind of the turning of the tides of World War II. We won't mention that on this podcast.
No,
Absolutely not.
to be fair, I would say that like the view. I've never thought I'd talk about this. I like this. I think the view of like when you're taught in school, like it is always like the Americans were like you do learn about the Americans being like your ally and how important they were to the war. Like that's not cut out, of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
But in terms of like American individual history, I don't know about that at all. But I didn't listen much in my lessons, so I was probably like we were meeting up and like in the like music room playing guitar or something. So we
Maybe
probably
that's
skipped
it.
that.
Yeah, maybe we just didn't listen.
Maybe it's just our fault. Yeah, that's a good. I like that.
And then lastly here, Drew, do you want to introduce, what they're going to think about here to take something away from our podcast? We'll give them, one of the questions. Fire away.
Cool. So something we do on a weekly basis is a love of the week,
Or a hate.
1 week, and then the next we do a hate of the week. So this week, the theme of the pod is spreading love. We like to switch it up each week just to stay as neutrally balanced as we can. So
As Thanos
for-
would say, you got to balance the universe,
Good.
Yeah, exactly.
So essentially, what it is it can be literally anything you want. From like, I've done things like watermelon, a good haircut, like generally anything that you just love. We want to hear about it. Just pick one thing at a very high level. We kind of go week by week, switching up, and then we kind of do a fan submission. So we figured, along with the fan submissions, we'd like to hear from you guys. I know that we're putting you on the spot here, so
I'd
we wanna
like
see what you
I'd
can
like to
pick to us.
spark your minds here because I don't want to just go middle of the road stuff. You can go really off the beaten path. We once had one that was a ghost wipe, and we here would say that is when you go to the bathroom. Number 2, and you don't get anything on the wipe, and boom, you're done. That's a ghost
I know
wipe.
exactly what you mean. Yeah, that's a good.
That's
So that
a-
would have been a lot.
Was
right?
that
That's a
someone's
love.
love?
No, that's a
Yeah.
love of the week.
that was someone's love.
The hate of the week. We don't want to get into that.
Yeah.
I don't want to know what the hate would be.
Yeah.
It's okay. So a love. We go in love. What we
Yeah,
love.
Yes.
yeah.
We're
And if
spreading
you
love,
need
yeah.
some time, I can
Okay.
go into my love of the week this week.
Yeah, I tell you what,
That would be- yeah,
awesome.
that'd be good.
I want to give you a good answer here. So I'm gonna think carefully.
And this one is perfect because before you guys contacted us or before we got in touch with PK, I am the worst at going to sleep at night, and I just turn my laptop on, go on YouTube, watch a bunch of music videos, and the one love of the week I have is crowd sing-alongs.
Yeah.
That's
So-
a good one, Kurt.
And it brings me back, Drew, when we were talking our top 3, what's your favorite live, whether you saw it live or you saw it on YouTube, performances of all time. I'll get into mine, we'll go around the horn, and then we'll get back to your love of the week. So it gives you some time to think. But mine, I watched a bunch of videos, YouTube loops. I'm huge on Britain's Got Talent, America's Got Talent, whatever you got, golden buzzers. And my favorite live performances of all time, number 3, we'll count it down backwards, is going to be Iris by Goo Goo Dolls, July 4th, 2004 in Buffalo, New York, in the piss and rain. Gotta watch that one. We'll go number 2. I'm trying to think of it. Oh, Fix You by Coldplay.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't know how to say this. Sao Paulo, Brazil.
Yes.
I
yeah,
feel like I'm
love that
saying it
one.
wrong, but in Brazil.
I think that was right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think that was great.
Okay. That one, I didn't see it before 3 nights ago. So I just got that one. That one bumped all the way up to number 2. And my number 1, this one probably will never move. It's going to be Bono and U2 at the Super Bowl in 2001 after 9/11 singing Where the Streets Have No Name. And they have the giant banner of all the, victims of 9/11 streaming up. And then at the end, he opens the jacket, and inside the jacket, the interior lining is the American flag, and the crowd goes wild. That's a United States view. That one will never move. Drew, let's pass it off to you after that. I'm looking forward to probably watching all of these from everybody.
So you're putting me on the spot here. I think the biggest, I got to agree with you two at the Super Bowl. I think in general, it's weird with U2. I don't want to offend them, but I won't go out of my way to listen. Let me know if this makes sense. I won't go out of my way to listen to their music really ever.
Yeah.
And I'm never in the mood to listen. But when it comes on, I love it.
Yeah.
So that's just a little tangent I'm going to go on real quick.
That
I'm just
that's
like,
what it is.
I don't know why this just came to my mind, but like, does that happen to you guys where there'll be an artist where you're not ever going to be like, oh, I really want to listen to this. But if it comes on, you're like, this is awesome. Like, it's just easy listening, like Kurt said. I don't really know if I have 3. I think the biggest thing that comes to mind for me, and I'm not like a huge, music guy as it is, to be completely honest, but just seeing like all of the YouTube videos and even the movie about Queen and just how they control a crowd is like, I've never seen anything like it. I don't care if it's at like a sporting event. I don't care if it's a concert. Just the charisma and the way that the crowd is just, I've never seen a crowd so closely follow a specific group of people like that. And it's just unbelievable to me. So I think that's the main one I would call out.
Okay. We'll pass it off to Ash here.
Is that
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your go.
Top 3. I don't know if I can do. I think I'm in the same boat. I don't know if I could pick 3. There's a performance by Noel Gallagher. He does a version of Wonderwall, and I can't remember where it is, but the video that I'm on about is in black and white, and he does like a really stripped back, beautiful version of Wonderwall. Like he could easily have gone out and done like Oasis Wonderwall, like, and smashed it, but I can't remember where it was, but stripped back, beautiful. And there's one note. There's a note that he sings in it that he changes.
It's stunning.
It's different, and it's for me that one's amazing. 2 more. They've been doing Glastonbury reruns.
Yeah, that's what.
TV.
So I got on to Codaline in Glastonbury the other night, and that was fantastic.
So good, so good.
What a voice. Coldplay at Glastonbury. Their set. They've done multiple.
Yeah.
But I think their most recent one for me I watched was just
that's
amazing.
so good.
Number one.
I
don't know if I could pick it and say it's like a number 1. But I always enjoy watching Ed Sheeran. So that's always good fun for me.
I'm interested to see Luke's here, and I'll throw something out afterwards. But let's hear it.
Okay, so I think in terms of like a number ordering, I don't know right now if I can commit to a 1, 2, 3. But actually, a lot of the ones that I genuinely adore have been someone mentioned, which is cool. So I guess we all like the same kind of, but like the Coldplay Fix You, I watch that all the time because they've got the wrist lights on. Yep. And wow, and it's stunning. And there's a few actually from that tour. I think the same gig they filmed a yellow. It might be a different one. It's called like Yellow Unstaged or something. A lot of the Coldplay ones are just, I think the energy they have and like the crowd is stunning. Same with the Queen. I mean, there's in the film, obviously they recreated obviously most of the shots, but there's one of Love of My Life, and the actual one is on YouTube, and it's beautiful. So that's up there. Muse. I don't know if you guys like Muse.
I've
very
heard
much.
of Muse before.
There's what's the song, Kurt?
Yeah, there's
me
one
and Kurt
song.
love one song. It's
Ooh.
is there a song called like Madman or something, or Mad?
Yeah, Madness. Madness.
Yes.
That's the
Yeah.
one. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
That's
We
a
used to
stunning-
jam to that song.
That's a great. I
That's
saw
gold.
them live on that tour of that album, and they were incredible. I was blown away. I was about 12 or something, but I just remember being blown away. And there's also there's a really cool video online. I'll try and send it at the end of this or something. And it's like the warm up. I think it might be for Green Day or someone, but they aren't even on the stage yet. But they're playing like the songs that they play before the gig to get the crowd pumped, and they play Bohemian Rhapsody, and it's the whole YouTube video is just filmed with like an empty stage with the crowd of like 100,000 people singing every word and like doing the riff, and it's just amazing. It's like there's no one on the stage. It's just 100,000 people in like pure harmony going. I'll try and find it. If you've not seen it before, it's so good. You'll enjoy that.
Awesome.
Yeah, I do a lot of the same thing. YouTube, late night, performance, and I'll be there for like 2 or 3 hours.
Next thing you know, it's 4 a.m. and you're like, I have to get up at 6:30.
I know.
What's going on?
I've got no regrets sometimes because I'm like some of those performances. I've loved them all and put them in like a playlist. I could probably check it at some point. But yeah, there's one of I always say this wrong. This is like my favorite artist ever, Bon Iver. I always say it wrong.
Bon
It's like
Iver, I think.
Bon Iver. Yeah, I always say it wrong.
I don't
which
know.
Is really
I've heard of him.
No, yeah.
EDM type of deal, right? Or
no, he kind of does like acoustic. Well, he started
he
off.
had an album.
I have a song
He
of
does
his,
like
too.
electronic.
It's definitely. I think it's more acoustic than anything.
Yeah, no, that makes
Yeah.
sense. It's in
But
my
you are. It's
relaxed
kind
playlist.
of like
Yeah.
recently. It's gone a little bit more like electronic. Definitely. There's one of him playing on it's called the Jules Holland Show. It's like an English TV thing. It's just him in a room. He does a song called Skinny Love, and yeah, it's just insane. So I think those would be on my list, but yeah, I should find a top 1, 2, 3 and like post it somewhere one day because
You need to refine that.
I need to
down.
find. I got they're
Fine.
scattered all over
Yeah.
the place right now.
We put you on the spot there, so the 3, 2, 1 there is pretty tough. I was a little, I don't want to say disappointed. I was just hoping deep down that you would say, one of your own performances was one of your favorite performances.
I was going to ask that actually.
That would have been kind of sweet.
That
But
would have been good.
now
We
that
should
you got
have done
an idea of the love of the week, what's your love of the week? And we'll give you some time here.
Love of the week.
You can go first on this one, as
Yeah.
you said. That
I've
I
been
should go
so
first,
focused on thinking about performances that I've forgotten. I tell you what, this is my love of the week. Is the latest? It's actually like 2018 album by Casey Musgraves, and I found it on Spotify one day by accident, and it was. I don't know. I associate that whole album was just like summer, and like today in the first time in like weeks the sun's finally out again, and it's just from like every single song on that album is just I don't know. It sounds really cringe, but it genuinely just makes you feel so good. It's like I would say one of the best albums I've ever heard. So that is my love. Maybe like love of the week, love of like.
Love of the year, it seems. Yeah,
love of the year. It's like I
forever.
love that album, man. That's beautiful. That would be mine.
Do you know what? That's really.
You weren't
annoyed
gonna
me.
say that.
He
No,
went middle of the road there. He went with music. We were wondering if you were going to
the
get
industry.
outside your comfort zone, but
This
100%.
is what's annoyed me.
Go on.
I was thinking there's loads of albums that I love, and that's going to be the easiest thing. I'll just say an
No.
album, and then when you said it, as I heard you say it, it suddenly dawned on me when it's too easy.
You got
They're going to
to
expect a
pick
music
something
thing.
random. Go on. Something crazy.
Something mad.
Something slightly cheeky. Go
Yeah.
on. Find
Cheeky.
something.
something
Go
you do
on.
every day, or maybe just some of the days, and you're like, man, that's great.
Oh, okay, right. This isn't every day, but every day for the last, I'd say most of lockdown.
Oh, geez.
I don't know where this one is
Yeah,
going.
where's this
Drew.
going? Is this what we?
That's got to be cut out. That one's got to be cut out. for sure. Oh my god. Why have you said that? I've got
Family friendly
I've got some
podcast.
bad
Wait.
Oh, be a nice. Say something nice. Go on.
It's fitting the love or hate kind of vibe. Wait.
Interesting.
I've been having Marmite
Oh.
on toast for the since lockdown has started.
Okay.
And
Oh, yeah,
I
do you
think
have Marmite
I
in
love it.
America?
I
What
don't.
is that?
We have no clue what you're
wait, is
talking
it
about.
called,
Oh,
would
is
it be
it called
called-
something else?
it's either going to be called, is it like Bovril? Bovril? Could be called that.
Are you
No.
speaking German? What just
okay.
happened?
So is it like what's
I think a jelly
we need
jam
some
butter.
help. Yeah, is it like
Like-
jelly? What's the
Yeah, it's
consistency?
like a-
It's like a yeast. It's like in England, it's like well known that you love it or you hate it. Like I love it, you love it, but like a lot of my mum hates it. So like it's a love or hate thing. So like I guess you love it
I love it.
by definition.
I didn't think about you guys not knowing what
Yeah,
it was.
So it's
Yeah.
like it's a tea and toast thing.
Yeah, it's like bagels or toast or maybe you guys wouldn't have on.
It's
bagels,
like it's like a
actually.
spread. So you'd put it
Okay.
on
Yeah. Cream
Toast.
cheese? Is it like cream cheese?
Yeah, that kind of thing. Or,
like
yeah,
that, but not
kind of.
cheesy.
It's not cheap. It's
At all.
It's very salty.
I can't.
I
Don't
can't-
make it sound so bad.
It's
can't.
I think we have to do a review, Kurt. I think what we'll have to do is get on like an Instagram live or
We'll have to
something
import
and do a
some
food
Marmite.
review. For
We
that.
should do
Yeah.
some.
I don't know where we
Think
can
of
get
it
some, but
tub of Marmite, and you could try it, and
You might hate it.
and then you might absolutely.
hey, at least we'll know. We got to find out
I
though.
want to find out. I think you. Yeah, I'd be intrigued. You
I-
might actually. Really, if
it
you
might be
like it,
50-50.
you'll love it.
that would make a good
If it's 50-50,
good video.
love it. Or hate
It's
it.
50, wouldn't it?
Some good
Oh.
content.
There you
There you
go.
go. See, innocent.
I like
I'm
that.
glad,
Family
I'm
friendly.
glad it was Marmite that you've been eating
Marmite.
every day. So that's good.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Good.
Yes.
Anywho,
Drew, we'll wrap it up here. Luke, if you want to give us another love of the week, not that I'm saying you went down the middle of
Okay.
the road, but
Okay,
if you
so-
want to think outside
yeah.
the box,
Something a little
we're
bit.
giving you redemption.
we're going to
essentially.
force
think-
your
okay.
hand.
Force my hand.
I love how you've just looked around the room.
I'm looking
You've
around the
just gone,
room.
No
I've got
music.
to be honest,
There's too much
it's-
music around that room. We're
it's
going
actually-
outside the box.
Middle of the road. I've got to think. Oh no, I'm really bad at this kind of thing. I'm sure I've got something, but I don't know what.
Other than music, like
The
what else?
thing is, like, my whole life is basically music, so it's very hard to pick other. Like, I like running at the moment, but that's not really middle of the road. Well, technically it is when you're running, but that's very basic, and that's music as well.
Xbox. That?
Is Xbox a bit generic?
Yeah, we
No.
have to get into the finer details,
I
I
mean-
would say.
Yeah, you
But
want, like,
What about
Individ-
Xbox? How about that?
Yeah.
What like a specific game?
okay, yeah. I mean, currently, I would say I play about 4 to 5 hours a night of Modern Warfare, which I'm sure you guys probably
yeah, absolutely.
and Warzone, and
Warzone is
specifically
fantastic.
On that, there's a thing called Gunfight, which is amazing. And I've recently found out that one of our favorite artists plays it. So whenever I play it, I was playing earlier, hoping that I might just play against him by accident. I was
Oh
like,
my gosh.
there's odds, there's a chance here that I could play and say hi. But yeah, like,
That's so awesome.
I feel like Xbox is a good one. Most of my
That's-
life, music or Xbox.
Now,
really.
what is your favorite site to drop? You know, where are you dropping? You dropping at the airport? You dropping at the
Yeah, that's a great one.
the hills?
Airport, I always get sniped from that little tower. Always get sniped. And they
Okay.
camp in it. They put little claymores down. It makes me rage quit. So I don't go there.
Rage
Sorry,
quit. Oh man.
you're saying airport, just like I remember. Did I send? So I've recently got on TikTok. I don't know if you guys have TikTok or.
I do,
or-
yeah.
I do not. No.
It might be going away. I heard though. TikTok.
Oh, the U.S.
There's
might be
a lot of-
banning it. China's.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of iffiness
Oh,
a
about
lot of
no.
TikTok.
iffiness.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot. You
oh,
might
that'd
not
be a shame.
make
that
the
would.
most of your TikTok days.
But anyway, there was a video on there of someone playing Call of Duty,
Okay.
and they landed on it. They landed by airport. Not airport. No, stadium.
Stadium.
I don't
Yeah.
know why it reminded me of it. It's landed by stadium, and they looked up at the roof of the stadium, and there were 17 players.
No, I saw that.
Yeah, yeah. 17 players that were all just on the top, and they'd all like teamed together. And this guy had like the best like accent. It must have been French or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he was aiming at them, all panicked, and 3, 2, 1. They all swooped down at him, and he had like 17 players.
That
and
is-
I panicked.
Oh my gosh.
That was hilarious.
It was
He's just
so good.
screaming, and there's like 17 guys
Just swarming on him.
to death on the game. That's funny on the game. But like, I play that. I love that game, man. Favorite drop zone? There's a place up. It's kind of in between airport and military base. I'd highly recommend. There's some houses scattered about. Good high ground.
Take some notes, folks. Take some
Inside
notes.
information
Notes.
here.
If you want to get, I personally recently got a few wins by doing that. So yeah,
Not a big deal.
do something right.
You're definitely more of a play it safe player, aren't you?
I'm not a camper though. I don't camp. No, I'm like.
He wants to make that very clear.
Yeah, no. I'm not one of those guys that puts a claymore by the door and just sits. That's boring. But I'm the guy with the heartbeat sensor. Like
That's me. Yeah, that's me too.
that's me.
Tactical,
But that's
very
tactical.
Tactical, yeah. Conservative.
allow-
You got to play the game that way sometimes.
If you don't play that game that way, then you're doing it wrong. There's no point. Yeah. I do
I
also
agree.
love it. You play online and you get. I don't know. Yeah, it must be the same. Like if you kill a player online, you get about 2 or 3 seconds of their
Oh
voice
my
back.
gosh, I love it.
I
Oh my
love
gosh.
the rage that I have heard through
Yeah.
that microphone.
Well, dude, I think it was.
That's
yesterday
your
or
love
day
of the week
before.
right there.
That's my
That's
love
the
of
That's
the
my
one.
love of the week.
I
A
found my
hot
love of the
mic.
week.
Yeah. So what happened was I was at Rust, just like I think it was headquarters or something. I
Mhm.
killed this child twice in like 30 seconds, and he was just screaming like, "Oh my god, like you cheater!" Just screaming at me, and it happened. I want to say 2 or 3 times because I just kept hearing his like squeaky little voice in the mic for that split second.
If
And
anybody
every time I
tuned into this podcast and skipped through, we're talking about Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
oh my god,
In warfare,
Video
rage, quitting. That's what we're talking about.
video
But
games.
it's so good when you get someone scream. If you really, really hit a nerve, and that you can tell that genuinely they want to smash their Xbox or PS4 or whatever.
Yeah.
That's the best. That's my love. That might be my love of the year. I think I've had a lot of fun doing that this year. Like in lockdown, especially, a lot of laughs have been had on that game. So yeah, there you go. I think I've got one that's not quite middle of the road. What do you reckon?
No, that's
Yeah.
that's
That's
we
perfect.
found it. We finally got to the bottom of
found
it.
it.
You got it.
Ooh, stressful. I got it.
That is all from our side of the house. As long as you guys don't have any questions for us, unless you do, we just want to thank you for coming on. We're gonna play you out with some of Burbank's songs by Ash and Luke.
Yes. Thank you very much. Do we have a question? I feel like we should. It's polite to ask a question back. You guys have asked some wonderful questions. So
I've got one.
have you got one?
Yeah.
Is it rude?
No.
Because you can't do that.
There's no family-friendly podcast.
Shoot us straight, whatever you got, really.
Go.
You've made it sound. This is going to sound really boring now.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's not rude at all.
Go for it.
What made you guys start up a podcast? We've told you our story as to why we set up Burbank and what we did, but why? Yeah, why this?
Drew, you want to take it? Unless
Yeah, I can
Okay.
take it.
Fire.
So it's I don't know if it started out as like a joke, but we had been talking about it it was sort of a touch and go conversation for probably I would say at least a year where we would just randomly talk about how we maybe wanted to do it. We didn't
prior
really
to
know.
quarantine. Yep.
Yeah, even like a year out from quarantine. We just didn't know logistically like what we would need to kind of start. We really didn't even know where to start. And then it was probably like a few weeks into quarantine where we said, well, I mean, there's really no better time than the present given the circumstances of what's going on. And we really had all the time in the world to try to figure it out. And we eventually did. We just got mics, started creating an agenda, and we just kind of went from there. I mean, it's still fairly new and we're trying to build it, but I think it almost just sort of happened out of nowhere because of, the circumstances with coronavirus and stuff where we just kind of had a lot more time at a disposal to kind of figure it out. So,
Yeah, and I'm looking at my current job. I'll be out of my contract in about 2 years, and it's just like, well, if I can start something now that, grows, if it doesn't, whatever, we'll go find another job, but put a little... We haven't put any money into this really at all, but at some point I might think about putting a little money in and try to promote it and boost ads or whatever. And if we can do that for a job, I think me and Drew would be pretty stoked about that. And, get guys like you on here talking about crazy shit.
that's what it's all about, man.
That's really cool. Yeah, no, and obviously thank you for having us be a part. Like, thank you for having us, on your podcast, and like, yeah, we really appreciate it, and it's been great. It's been really fun, and my face is actually quite sore from laughing so much. So it's been great. So
I'm
yeah,
definitely tune into future ones that you post.
100%.
How regularly do you post?
Every week. So Spotify, the podcast is on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, whatever one you choose. Wednesday mornings, I'll usually post it around 1 a.m. because I'm just up. I'm in Central Time, so it's a little different than Drew. I'm an hour back, and I can post at 11, and we're good.
Okay.
YouTube, we got a YouTube channel. And then anything else, Drew? Instagram, Twitter. That's
Yeah,
about
just
it.
your standard social media. Still trying to build that stuff. But,
Instagram, we put out our highlights. We like to think we put out a couple of highlights.
Yeah, we
So-
kind of pick and pluck from the actual episode and throw like some stuff up on the social.
We hope that all our followers start following you guys. You put out some great products, whether it's the music or it's the top secret meetings. And then
so funny.
we hope to just swap back and forth and kind of
100%.
build a
We'll
couple of
give you-
followers off each other.
Yeah, we'll give you a
Yeah.
good share, and like, especially like, I feel like our most active followers currently are YouTube. So I think there's a way you can share like actual text on YouTube now. So by the way, we'll try and share your channel, and
Yeah.
that'll be awesome.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
Perfect.
Yes.
All right.
Brilliant.
Ash and Luke and Ash, whichever way you want to
Yes.
say it.
Whichever way you want to. Yeah.
Whatever way you could choose, whatever you want.
This is TBBLC, and we're heading out with Burbank today.
Take on my substance and pour it down the drain. Take on my honor and do with it the same. I'm on the run again. I'm on the run again. Take all the blood coursing through my veins. Break all my bones, 'cause you know I love the pain. I'm on the edge again. On the edge again. This could be hell, no, it doesn't seem too heavenly. Spend all my time looking for a remedy. Oh, under the spotlight they strip me of identity until eventually I'm the enemy. Take your dagger and put it in my back, and hide in boardrooms to plan out your attack. Callous and cowardly. Callous and cowardly. And wait for me to do something wrong. The chorus of the printing press sings out all night long. I'm out of air again. Out of air again. This must be hell, no, it doesn't seem too heavenly. Spent all my time looking for a remedy, 'cause under the spotlight they strip me of identity until eventually I'm the enemy. The enemy. The enemy. This must be hell, doesn't seem that heavenly. Spend all my time looking for a melody as some kind of remedy to bring back my integrity, but eventually sing this This must be hell, no it doesn't seem too heavenly. I spent all my time looking for a remedy, but under the spotlight they strip me of identity until eventually I am the enemy.